Good day everyone. For today's video, we will be talking about the types of government. However, before dealing immediately into it, it is vital to know first what government is. Thus, the question, what is a government? As defined, a government is an agency through which the will of the state is expressed and implemented. What does that mean? A government, as an agency, is composed of different political institutions that regulates the conducts within its territorial jurisdiction. These institutions have the authority to make decisions for the society affecting the maintenance of peace and order and the achievement of certain societal goals. So there are numerous types of government. However, I will only deal with the common types of government. So to start with, we have democracy. The word democracy comes from the Greek words demos, which means people, and kratos, which means authority or power. As such, we define democracy as a government in which the supreme power is vested in the people. So there are two types of democracy. First, we have direct democracy, where all people directly participate in political affairs, like in policy making, among others. This type of democracy, however, is impossible to adopt at present due to the increasing number of population. As such, another type of democracy emerged in order to address it, and that is what we call as the indirect democracy, otherwise known as the representative democracy. So this type of democracy allows people to elect a representative that will serve as the administrators of the government. In essence, a country may adopt both direct and indirect democracy. Example, a country may have a mechanism of direct democracy like elections, and thereafter the elections, we have now set of elected leaders who will govern the country, and that is indirect democracy. Alright, so example of democratic states are the US and the Philippines. So in the Philippines, no less than the 1987 Philippine Constitution expressly provides that the Philippines is a democratic and republican state, wherein the sovereignty resides in the people and all government authority emanates from them. This provision in our Constitution is a clear remark that the Philippines is a democratic country. So the next form of government is known as monarchy. This form of government is ruled by monarchs, and the monarchs is either a king or a queen. This form of government is most common in the medieval age to the later part or late part of the 20th century. The same with democracy, there are also types of monarchy. So there are two types of monarchy. First, we have the absolute monarchy, where the supreme authority is exercised by the monarchs without any legal restrictions. In absolute monarchy, the monarchs are the head of state and the head of government. In contrast, we have the limited monarchy, otherwise known as the constitutional monarchy. This type of monarchy limits the power of the monarchs by virtue of the existence of a constitution. Mostly, in a constitutional monarchy, the monarch's role is limited to being only the head of state, performing a symbolic and ceremonial functions. So under this type of monarchy, the king reigns, but he does not rule. Example of a monarchical country, ladies and gentlemen, are the following. We have the United Kingdom and Thailand. At some point, these countries adopted absolute monarchy, but later on shifted to a constitutional monarchy. So next form of government is known as theocracy. Theocracy is a form of government ruled by priests or religious leaders, and the state's legal system is based on the religious law. Example of theocracy, or a country adhering to theocracy, is the Vatican City. So Vatican City is a state headed and governed by the Pope. Another example or type of government is dictatorial government. It is a form of government in which one person possesses absolute power without effective constitutional limitations. Now, how is it different then from absolute monarchy? At some point, there is similarity in the sense that one person rules or governs. However, in dictatorial regime, it is oftentimes spearheaded by a military leader. So the classic example of dictatorial government is Germany, who was ruled under the dictatorial regime of Adolf Hitler. But please take note that today, Germany is now a democratic country. Finally, we have anarchy. Although it is not really a type of government because there is no government in the first place, but I included it in our lecture to emphasize that there are situations where a society or community has no government or central authority. This situation is known as anarchy. Most commonly, anarchy arises after a civil war in a country, when a government has been destroyed and the rival groups are fighting to take its place. So that's all for today. I hope you learned something from our discussion. Thank you.